Hello and welcome to your twin flame reading for the divine masculine and the divine feminine and the current union energy going on between you and your twin flame. And today for you, I have two chakra reading cards, and those are by Rachelle, Charman. And then I also have a Crystal Angels card by Doreen Virtue for the current union energy. So we're going to see what all of the cards are in just a moment. So let's do that. And we're getting started out with the week, and two readings 2 days in a row. So I haven't been doing readings every single day, but I am still doing them a few times a week, 2 every day, kind of, somewhere in between. So definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed so that you get updates when I put the latest reading out, especially if you like this one. And if you are subscribed, well, all I can say is you are awesome. So let's do this. Let's look at the Divine Feminine card first. The Divine Feminine card is Inner Strength. Okay, all right, fine. It's funny because I really got the message from the Divine earlier. Like, I was like, okay, whoa, I'm a little bit tired here, and I really got just work, period, in my head, do work. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, I hear you, And so, yeah, sometimes it's time to call upon your inner strength, and it does depend on, what's going on in your reality, what this means, because there's no real difference between inner and outer. And so this might involve you taking more, what you would consider usually action steps, actions in your life purpose, maybe actions in your twin flame journey, going all in with whatever step comes next for you, being okay, yes, I'm gonna book this discovery session. I'm gonna, really dedicate an hour of my week to getting coached and stuff like that. Those kinds of decisions do require strength. Let's be real, So if you have been even considering it, or just heard me say it before, or maybe you're already doing it, then if you are already doing it, but if you're not, just look at why you're actually not, because I hear reasons like financial and things like that, but a lot of the time there's really a different reason that you're not looking at. Because if you just think about it logically, if you're investing in something that's going to give back to you, it wouldn't really make that much sense that you're holding yourself back from that, unless you're kind of maybe not recognizing how strong and powerful you actually are, and kind of afraid of that, even perhaps afraid of unlocking that next layer of potential, because then it means that, yeah, you'll have more responsibility in your life, you'll have more to do, you'll have more of your twin flame journey undertaken. And do you actually want that? Do you actually desire your twin flame and desire the divine there? Because these things do at times require strength. And I mean, there's other things required, like choosing peace and surrender. But this is what's highlighted at this time for you, is that core strength. And it is a time not to push through, but to just feel into your strength and to move from that place. And that is what actually pushes you through those blocks naturally. It's not you who pushes yourself through, right? It's really divine situation, divine intervention. I don't know if you've ever felt this, where you're kind of moving through what would seem like almost a wall of resistance, and you really just are able to finally move through it, because you're like, I gotta go here in my consciousness, I have to feel this, I have to look at this. But yeah, that does require strength. And it is very related to physical strength. It's related to stamina, and that might be too something to pay attention to. Well, if you're not as drawn at this time to doing as much physical activity when you're doing spiritual work and calling upon your inner strength, that's okay. Like, you don't want to burn yourself out, so you want to do things in a balanced way. Like, I believe that you burn quite a few calories just from, really utilizing your brain kind of thing and all of that. And so think about all of the processing that goes into your actual physical reality, like your physiology, your body. Like, when you're doing spiritual work, it's not all that different in some ways from just going for a jog or whatever. I don't know. Maybe not a jog, maybe it's a walk for you, maybe it's something else, maybe it's yoga or all of the above. But yeah, and you can also look at how maybe your twin flame might be doing different kinds of activity in their life to kind of balance yours out, and you guys kind of meet somewhere, there where there's going to be things that you do that are very similar and things that you do that are complementary too. So I feel like that's a lot for that card. Wow. So let's move on to the Divine Masculine. Okay. Well, this is nice. So meditation. So the Divine Masculine, don't be mad if it looks like he's if you're the Divine Feminine watching this, if it looks like he's not doing much or whatever. So he's holding space for you to have your breakthrough, basically. Like, you're kind of having some kind of a breakthrough here, and the Divine Masculine is very happy to hold space for that, and actually very enjoying that, attracted to that in his heart. And so if you're the Divine Masculine and you are feeling kind of just going within, feeling the peace, and it might be more active, in certain ways, but just a steadiness and a balanced place that you're tapping into within, that's great. And you can you can see how there's complementary energy going on here, whereas the reading that I did recently, just yesterday, was more very it was complementary in a way, but it was also very similar. So you can see how even the colors are kind of in opposite places. You have the yellowy gold stuff going on, kind of looks very solar plexus related in this area, this kind of square-ish rectangle technically, right? And then the gray white, and then you have gray white here, and you have around the rim the gold. So that's interesting. Let's move on to the middle card, the Union card. Crystal Angel, what you gonna tell us? Okay, Sugalite. Really gotta learn how to pronounce, if I am pronouncing that right. I think of the first syllable and I just automatically think of sugar, something sweet. So it says, own your divine power, replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. Yeah, so pretty straightforward message. Again, going back to that power, remembering that it's not you who, again, needs to push through, or you who needs to balance things. It really is the divine through you. And so accessing that place within you where you feel that peace, that oneness. And that's also, no different than being right there with your twin flame as well. And this is also speaking to, if you have fears coming up, oh, someone's not going to like me, or, oh, I need to do this and that and the other thing. It actually might be time to put up some healthy boundaries, and not from a place of I'm putting a boundary here, this is my time. But you have to have compassion for yourself. Oh, I'm feeling if I do this extra thing that feels like too much, then just feel into that. Or are you kind of almost like hoarding your time and energy and being like, oh no, like I need, hours of time to just have to not schedule. Because that could be like the flip side of the coin, right? So there's balance there. And by tapping into your power, it's much easier to find that balance. And of course, sometimes it does take working through blocks on both ends. Like sometimes you're going to feel more called to really kind of like reclaiming your energy. And sometimes you're going to feel more called to kind of like expanding your giving of that. And so this card does indicate, owning your divine power, a time of kind of reclaiming that and healing, but also of then feeling more empowered to give, like feeling more assertive about what it is that you have to give and not doing it from a people-pleasing place, but doing it from a place. You could actually just see it in this gesture here of this angel. It's very much like, it's very giving and it's very genuine and just like, hey, like this is what I can give right now, and like I give it with complete peace. So you're just going deeper with that balance too. And you can see, for the divine masculine, that's like more of a meditative energy at this time, and the divine feminine needs also some space to work through her own things and really like put some things in order, in her reality, so that you both can move forward in your union, no matter how that looks on the outside, and really be giving from just an even more grounded, more peaceful, more expansive foundation, that feels really good and really nurturing and supportive and eternal too, right? Like it's always going deeper with where's my eternal foundation that I'm standing on? And sometimes that's a part of grounding even more deeply, is you're actually letting go of whatever you were standing on that you thought was your support, but perhaps there was something there that wasn't of God completely, that you had to release attachment to. And so it's just safe to go through that whole process. And when you do this healing and you own your divine power, you shine your light for everyone else to shine theirs too. And this is a well-known concept, but nonetheless, I think sometimes it's an important reminder that that's really what you're meant to do, and to not do that from a pretentious place either. Like, well, all I need to do here is just stand around and shine my light. Yeah, I mean, you might want to like help out someone if you feel called to, and like live your life, but it does come from that place of shining, and sometimes that does equal just standing there and holding space, but really doing that from a humble place, and again grounding yourself into what actually feels good and doable to you. So I feel like there's some expanding here overall, this expansive energy of where what you can give, where you can give from, and it being more genuine and authentic to what it is that you're giving. And when you own, when you know what you own, like when you know where your power is, it's much easier then to give from that true, genuine place. So that's going to do it for today's reading going into the week. So definitely keep this message in mind for yourself, and I would say definitely also fortify yourself right now, whether that means nice soup or just making sure you get a walk in, something that feels light and easy movement. Like I said, don't overdo it. And so that's it. That's the end. And check out the links below. I am now making sure that I include my subscribe link to my newsletter. It's free, and of course I don't sell your emails. And then you'll get additional channeled readings that I only put out in my newsletters, and other info, other offers. And so that's a really fun thing to do if you like reading channeled readings in addition to watching them. And it's a good way to stay in the loop and all that jazz. So yeah, I will see you again soon. Have a wonderful beginning of your week. Take care. Bye.